We have come upon the part of the course where we would have been working with Dreamweaver CC by Adobe. However, because its length of usage for free has been limited to 7 days, and some of you have already installed it, I need to go a different direction. So I'm going to ask you to download Microsoft Visual Studio Code, which is not necessarily a complete replacement for Dreamweaver CC. However, it's a fairly close attempt. I would rather use CodePen, and at some point in the course we will be using CodePen, which is another free product, except it runs online. It's powered by a browser. This is its own installation. If you click on the link or visit code.visualstudio.com, you'll find the download for your machine automatically when you first come in. This is going to be for Windows. They do have versions for Macintosh and even for Linux. They're free currently. Hopefully Microsoft will keep them free. Once you click on you select the flavor of code that you want, it will start to download. Mine is for Windows, so I have an exe file that I will be running. That's the installer. If you have Mac, I do believe that you will be running or actually downloading a zip file and unarchiving it and then moving the program to your applications folder. Linux could be different. It could be a command line instruction that you just put in the CLI and move about your business, or they'll give you directions, or maybe you'll actually get a download, but Linux doesn't quite work that way. So I'm running the setup. It's very simple. I'm just going to accept the agreement, whereupon I say, yes, I agree. I'm using this. I'm not going to do anything beyond the norm. I'm going to create a desktop icon so that it adds it on here to the other icon that I won't be using for this class, the Adobe Creative Cloud. And click on Next and finally install. This shouldn't take more than a couple of minutes. Hopefully less than that. So it's installing it, and when this is all said and done, I'm going to have to find my website files. They're in the same place, and as they've always been. Basically, I have them in my Google Drive and inside a folder called F. Rodriguez, the name of my website, or at least my subdirectory. And this is almost done. I'm going to pause this momentarily so that you don't listen to me drone on while this is installing. I'll be right back. Okay, so it only took about half a minute more, and it's done. Completing the Visual Studio Code Setup Wizard. Basically, it's given me the shortcut that I requested, and if I click on Finish, it will launch the program. I know that the last time that I installed this, it didn't launch it right away, so when you do launch it at home, even if you don't get an activity rolling cursor, don't worry, it's working. If it takes more than 2 minutes, then start to worry. In the meantime, I'm going to pause it again, and let's see, it's 5:31, so let's see how long this takes. I'll be right back. Okay, so it's 5:33. It's been a couple of minutes. I know that it was still installing. I could hear the hard drive going all over the place, writing, reading, etc. And it's giving me a blank screen right now. I'm just going to play with it a little bit to make it fit. And you should be getting some all kinds of messages all over the place. First of all, it's going to take you to a getting started page. We'll be using this just to do some HTML. You could use it, you could bring in some extensions to use it for Python, C++, other programming languages. HTML is a tagging language, or a tag language. So let me minimize that, come back here. There's also a warning that Git is not found. Although I do use Git, I'm not going to be using it just yet for this class. So in the meantime, I'm going to close. I could tell it not to show it again, but you know, I want to keep it in the back of my mind. Git's a good thing, and however, we're not using it now. Next, I'm going to go into my file, and I'm going to add a folder to Workspace. This is basically your working directory. Mine is in my Google Drive somewhere, and actually it's kind of getting stuck here. I know where it is. I have a shortcut called Sites. That's where I keep my websites. Let me wait for Windows to wake up. Okay, it's kind of up. And now go to Sites. Here's my F. Rodriguez folder, and that's actually the one that I want. This is the one that's got all my week 1, week 2, etc. I'll click on Add on that, and there's a couple of icons on the left side here that you'll want to get familiar with. There's a debug. When you click on that, you actually get your site folder. So the workspace currently untitled. We'll maybe be giving it a name later, but at least now I only have the one, so it's pointing to my F. Rodriguez folder, and then inside I see my week 1, my week 3, and my index.html file all in here. This is basically how I will be navigating to open them and working with them. So I think it's going to be as simple as double clicking on the file, waiting for it to open. I'm going to close this annoying thing downstairs, and I'm going to maximize this so I can see the whole thing. In the next video, I'm going to show you how to download a plugin that will actually show us this page as it stands. You can also just open up a directory that shows you your, or not a directory, rather a browser window that shows you the files in the directory. Multiple ways of making the best out of not having Dreamweaver CC.